What's up, guys? We're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1078, Escape Limit. So in this chapter, the traitor is finally revealed. Now, if you're not caught up, this is just spoiler warning. Do not watch anymore. Go back, read the chapter, and then come back and we can talk about who that traitor is. And a quick recap of the chapter. We had a lot of things happen, but mainly I just want to hurry up and get to who this traitor is and my thoughts about the series moving forward after this. We have Luffy, Lucci, Zoro, and Kaku still fighting the Seraphim. That's going swimmingly. We have Sanji getting full-on punched in the face by S-Shark and just taking it like a G. His cigarette didn't even fall out of his mouth. It is crazy. We have Frankie only half frozen from S-Snake. How does that work? Please explain. And ultimately, we get a small little flashback, kind of giving us a timeline of how these events are really unfolding, especially after we've revealed that York is the traitor.
What?
I was wrong. Last week, I just knew, basically, that it was Pythagoras. You could not convince me. And I specifically wrote off York. I said, so when we're judging only their actions, we can just ignore York, because we very clearly see her actions. She just eats, poops, and sleeps. Now, it would be very Oda to have her be the saboteur, but she hasn't really expressed or shown any kind of other desires, even though she is the Vegapunk of desires. So yeah, this was a huge surprise, but it's kind of genius because the word descriptor for her is desire. Her actions, the way they draw her, makes you just kind of look over her. You don't say anything. But now that we've been revealed that she was the one that is the traitor, her word descriptor, the desire, the satellite of desire, much like, wrath, evil, logic, like those all make sense. And then her being the one of desire makes a lot of sense, yeah. A lot of people do a lot of terrible things for desire. Almost all the bad guys in the beginning of One Piece desired power or wealth or fame or glory or whatever, or all of them combined. So it's not a stretch to say, oh yeah, well, desire. We assume that it was just, oh, she just wants to eat, sleep, and I guess poop all day, but nobody wants to poop all day. But eating and sleeping all day and just getting to rest for everybody, that is a great life. And I guess the only thing I could think of that's better than that is to be a Tenryubuto, even though they're terrible. But maybe she desires that. She wants to live that lavish life. So, what? So besides that, I really want to talk about Sentomaru, because what he is doing in these last few chapters, telling people about Ohara, he is spreading that news, or spreading that information, and now he's telling these people to evacuate. These people have access to Vegapunk technology. I'm sure somebody's gonna make it off. Even if, say they run into the Navy and then they get taken out, I'm sure somebody's gonna survive. They're gonna squeak by, invisible jet or something, I don't know. But one of them is gonna get out, and that information is gonna get out, and it's gonna spread around the world like wildfire. And this is the beginning of the war that's about to happen. I mean, it's always been bubbling up, but this is the moment when it became inevitable. There's no way you can avoid it. It's gonna happen because the information is out there now, and the people are gonna rise up. Last time with Ohara, the government got attacked by revolutionaries, and honestly, they don't really seem to be that famous. It's not that big of a revolution. They didn't get other countries to jump into it, or they're getting countries to little by little, but nothing on a major scale. They're still a rather small revolution at this point. They can't succeed in their objective. But if everybody joins or starts a revolution, then the world government's got a real problem on their hands, and they got to go crazy. And of course, it's going to put our heroes in a very serious position to either stop this or just surviving in this new chaotic, war-torn world. So I really like this chapter. This was just fantastic from start to beginning. I think though that just like how Skypiea was like a microcosm for the entire story of One Piece, this little small arc, I say small, but we don't know how long it's gonna last, but I still assume it's going to be wrapped up pretty soon, or relatively to other larger arcs. this small arc will be like a microcosm of the theme of oppression in One Piece. The government has been doing this for hundreds of years. They see a threat, they snuff it out. They saw Roger as a threat, they snuffed it out, and they made it public. That was a huge mistake because that started the the golden age of pirates, and then they've been having their hands full dealing with that. And now, after Ohara, they squashed it big. They went and they just wiped everybody out. But the few survivors still survived long enough to spread their tail. It started a revolution, and it sparked this genius to try to store all of the knowledge that they got, and succeeding in doing that, and taking their money and doing it with it. So, I mean, like, they basically set themselves up to fail, not knowing it, you know? So, like, no matter what, inevitably, they're gonna fail. The world government is doomed to fail. And that's what makes Roger's quote so impactful. Inherited will, the destiny of the age, and the dreams of its people. These things will not be stopped. As long as people continue to pursue the meaning of freedom, these things will never cease to be. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that, does it? But yeah, I really like this chapter. I feel like it made me think a lot more than what it should, maybe. Yeah, it was a cool review, but they're setting up something big here. I'll see y'all next week.